there are tiers to pretty privilege, and I'm on the lower tier. So pretty privilege has 3 tiers. There's entry level, 8 tier, and model status.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Omomi, aka Petite Diva, and in this video we're talking pretty privilege. Now I have a video where we discussed people talking about the fact that they don't have pretty privilege. In that video, I said I don't really understand what pretty privilege is all about, and that I was going to do more research and check out more videos to understand what people are talking about. Now, I had a comment left by a subscriber who said I should do a video where we discuss what pretty privilege is all about and see people who have pretty privilege talk about what exactly happens to them and what is involved in having pretty privilege or being conventionally attractive. So in this video, we are going to check out what exactly is pretty privilege, the levels of pretty privilege, and also how people are using pretty privilege to advance in life. So let's check out these videos that talk about how you can know if you have pretty privilege, and then I'll come back to share my thoughts.
Today I'm going to explain pretty privilege because yes, I do experience pretty privilege, but there are tiers to pretty privilege and I'm on the lower tier. So pretty privilege has 3 tiers. There's entry level, 8 tier, and model status. So entry level pretty privilege includes all the girls that are a little bit above average looking, but they're not like the prettiest girls you've ever seen, but you would definitely consider them pretty. Being on this level gets you some privileges. Like you can get free drinks at a bar, people want to help you if you're in need, people are generally nice to you, they give you the benefit of the doubt, and this is the category that I would put myself in. And to put this on the 1 through 10 scale, this would be the high 6s and the 7s. You're pretty enough to be treated well because of it, but you're not pretty enough to make a lifestyle out of it. So one level above that is what I call 8 tier, and that's your 8s of the world. And these girls are generally the prettiest girls in the room. They're the prettiest girls you see in real life on an average day. And these are the girls that draw attention because of how pretty they are. When you're on this level, you get all the privileges of entry level, but multiplied. Instead of being able to access benefits, you're getting offered benefits. So people will give you free drinks without even talking to you. People will give you free food. People will just give you free things, honestly. People flock around you. Either girls really want to be your friend or they're very jealous of you and they hate on you, and boys are very obsessed with you. You have the halo effect, which is where people think highly of you just because of the way that you look. It's not based on merit, but people will just think that you're nicer, you're funnier, you're smarter, all because of the way that you look. These girls are immediately likable because of how pretty they are, and they experience the world differently than everybody else does. And the final pretty privilege tier is model status. And that's going to be your 9s and 10s. These are going to be the people that you almost never see in real life. These are the people that you see on social media, that you see on your TV. These are models, these are celebrities, these are influencers. These people make a living off of how pretty they are. They have the halo effect times 1,000, and people want to do things for them just because of how pretty they are. They can get almost anything for free. They can get anywhere for free. They can get into the upper echelon of society just because of the way that they look. Now, why did I just explain all this? Because people like to comment on my videos saying, oh, the reason that happened to you, the reason that you got this thing, the reason that people were nice to you was pretty privilege. It has nothing to do with you and what you did. It's all about the way that you look. And while pretty privilege gets my foot in the door, I've learned how to maximize my pretty privilege by being socially adept and by surrounding myself with people that are prettier than me. Being an entry-level pretty privilege doesn't automatically mean that people are going to give me things or be nice to me because of the way that I look. But it does mean that because of the way that I look, I have the ability to manipulate them in specific ways to get a certain outcome and to get the things that I want from them. It's not a given, but being pretty is a tool that I can use to my advantage.
Pretty privilege is real, and here's how you can use it to your advantage. So here are 3 signs that you're more attractive than you think, and this can apply to both men and women. So if any of these apply to you, then you definitely have pretty privilege. So you're gonna wanna save this video for later. So number 1, people are willing to go out of their way to help you with things. Most people would not go out of their way to help you with things unless they found you physically attractive or liked something about you. Just think about it. Why does the bouncer let in the pretty go first and lets her skip the entire line while you're still waiting there for like an hour? That's because people are willing to go out of their way to help you. Number 2, you attract positive attention. People are generally polite and respectful when they interact with you. They may even compliment your physical appearance, like your eyes, your hair, your smile, etc. And this same type of energy won't be reciprocated when someone ugly is talking, let's be real. And lastly, number 3, people tend to be way more forgiving when you make a mistake. And this is because of something called the halo effect, where people just assume the best out of you because you're attractive. People will deem you the epitome of perfection, and if you were to make a mistake, they would classify it as a genuine mistake. For example, if you were to make a mistake at work, your boss probably would be a lot more lenient with you compared to another colleague. And this is all because you're more attractive than you actually think. Isn't that crazy?
One way to know if you have pretty privilege is that random strangers compliment you a lot. Not the people closest to you, not your friends, not your family, not your acquaintances. I'm talking about people that you don't even know. People that, like, you just met that day. And not only that, but bitch, they'll do favors for you too. Oh yeah, they'll give you treatment, break the fucking rules, do things for you that they don't do for everybody else. I'm not even talking about myself because, like, girl, I'm not gonna include myself in this shit. But yeah, one way to know if you have pretty privilege is that people compliment you a lot. They do favors for you. And I'm talking about strangers doing favors for you, not the people closest to you. People that you barely even know, wanting to help you out with shit that, like, you could probably just do yourself. So if you're wondering if you have pretty privilege, those are the signs. Those are some of the signs. Cause, like, or maybe just really nice. I don't know, but there you go.
I would have stopped fucking with medium ugly guys a long time ago if I knew that the ultimate form of pretty privilege is having an attractive partner. First, I gotta break down the levels of pretty privilege by yourself so you can understand how elite it is with a partner. The pretty, the privilege, 1 face card, bare level, right? This is you by yourself. You're a lone soldier in this one, which is why it's also a reflection of your attitude, because all of the privilege is a spectrum. Depending on how much the person likes you, the better the privilege is. The difference between getting free and discounted shit is how much do you feel like I'm your friend? How much do you feel like I actually like you with my cute ass? How much do we a kiki? We kikied enough for you to pay for my drinks and my appetizers and I just got to tip you on an entree? Cool. Oh, my cute ass is here by myself. It's just you? You ain't out with nobody? Come on. Men will give you money. Like, they will just give you money. It's so great. Also, depending on your attitude, people are willingly more helpful. Like, almost go out of their way to be more helpful to you just so that they could be in your fine ass face longer. The next tier of pretty privilege is with your attractive friends. Now, all of the above, however, you get invited more places. Pro ho tip, if a guy invites you and only you, he's trying to fuck on you and he got you covered. He may or may not cover the extra people you bring. That's on them. If he tell you bring your friends, he already know that he got you on lock and he trying to put his homeboys on. Or he know that you wishy-washy and he trying to see what your friends on. The problem with that is your attractive friends are more likely to get you kicked out of places or left somewhere because pretty girls got a hell of an attitude, boy. And sometimes they don't even be fun. So it's like, all right, you're pretty, but like you're just here. In essence, get the right attractive friends because finding a group of men to pay for stuff doesn't make you special. And you can always get left or kicked out, or they could just stop paying for your things. So choose the right friends to bring. I forgot to add getting presents sent to your house when it's not your birthday and like getting your coochie ate and just going on home after, or like getting flowers and shit like that. But that's a given. That was just a given. I hope y'all know that. But the most elite form of pretty privilege is just having one fun, pretty friend to hang out with and y'all just go everywhere together, because 2 is the perfect number. You can do no wrong. All you gotta do is leave the house looking sexy as fuck with just vibes, and you're pretty much invincible because 2 girls always fits in the car. 2 girls is very easy to cover between a group of guys. 2 pretty fun girls is gonna get you more attractive fun girls wherever y'all go next. Like, it's just the ultimate magnet for guys to get more fun, pretty girls. So just having one friend go with you everywhere, invincible, bitch. I'm telling you.
So, like I said in the previous video, I didn't really understand what pretty privilege is until I became a content creator. And I realized that if you are conventionally pretty or you have the right aesthetic, you can grow fast as a content creator or influencer. Learning that there are different levels or different tiers to pretty privilege is surprising. And I guess that's why you see some content creators, some influencers always being invited for brand trips, brand collaboration, or launches. And some people that you think are pretty and are doing well as an influencer or content creator, you don't see them being invited for those things as much as the other ones. So it seems like that concept of different levels of pretty privilege is actually, might be true, it might be real. Anyway, let's check out what people who have pretty privilege have to say about life when you have pretty privilege.
These are things I've noticed about girls who are really pretty. So if you relate to these, you're probably just like really pretty. People hate them for no reason. Like they're just like, oh, she just thinks she's all that. She just acts like blah. No real reason. No real reason for hating them. They get excluded a lot, especially by people who are jealous of them. I've literally heard girls say things like, I don't want her to come, like she's too pretty. They don't get complimented that much or hit on as much as everyone thinks. Because everyone thinks, oh my god, she's probably getting compliments all the time. She doesn't need my compliment. Everyone's probably hitting on her, so like what's the point? And if everyone's thinking that, no one hits on them. No one compliments them.
Guys, pretty privilege is real. Okay, the amount of things that pretty people get away with is astronomical. And if you genuinely don't believe that pretty privilege exists, well.
So we didn't buy no tickets. We're hoping that we can get in based off our pretty privilege.
Listen, pretty privileges and favor will have you walking in places with nothing but audacity. So let me tell y'all how, like 2 weeks ago, my sister and I, we drove all the way down to Miami. Well, we were in Fort Lauderdale, but we drove to Miami on a Saturday for this little event. Mind you, we had gotten free tickets, but I think they had expired at a certain time. By the time we got there, it had started to rain, so we were just like, hey, we're just gonna wait in the car and just wait out the rain, because at this point, we drove all the way down and we're coming to have a good time, and that's period. So we wait in the car and it stops raining, so we finally get down, we looking good, we smelling good, yada, 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 all of it. So by the time we get to the door, the guy was doing his job a little too freaking hard, and he's just like, hey, the tickets that y'all bought already expired, so y'all have to pay full price. I'm like, huh? I don't even pay full price in Atlanta, my boy. Like, if it ain't free, I ain't going. If my face card ain't getting me in, count me out. So at this point, me and my sister are standing to the side because we're debating. She wants to pay the money to get in, and I'm just like, sis, if my face card is not getting me in, I don't know what to tell you. Not that I didn't have the money, but still, I'm not paying $80 to get in here. Like, you mad bugging. So I'm standing to the side, and as we're discussing it or whatever, oh, on top of that, they didn't take card. So that even blew me more. Like, you not even taking my card. Like, you really just doing too much. So we're to the side discussing whether or not we're gonna do this. So as we're discussing to the side, a guy comes up and he's just like, why y'all out here? And I'm just like, cause y'all bugging. Like, y'all not taking card, y'all overpricing. Like, what's really good? Let me tell you. My voice was like, follow me. Literally brings us into the club, and I'm looking at the nigga like, cause you thought I was gonna pay this $80? You sleep. So long story short, we ended up getting to the party without paying $1. On top of that, we're at the bar. He just let us in, and he just, went about his business. On top of that, we're at the bar. We're just debating what it is that we wanted to drink, and the same guy spins the block again. And he's not next to the bar or whatever, and the bartender hands him 2 drinks, and my boy bought us drinks, and he was like, you smoke? And I was just like, whatever. I know my sister smoked hookah, so I was like, yeah, sure. My boy got us a table, hookah, drinks, all of that. And guess how much I paid? $0.00. So literally, your confidence, your energy, all of it. You need to be bringing all that, because you don't have to always be, beat down, makeup down all the time. Most of the time, it's how you present yourself that will eat the girlies alive. That will have people willing to serve. Period. So yeah, pretty privileges and favor.
Why doesn't anybody talk about when you become more attractive, you do not have to try as hard? This is the side of pretty privilege that they don't want you to know. Let me explain to you what I mean. I am very much an individual who grew into her looks. And so I remember when I was younger, I would always have to act out in order to get noticed in the room. But as I was growing up, I would literally have men tell me, you're so beautiful, you don't even need to say anything. All that talking you're doing is unnecessary. You could just sit there and look cute and still get what you want. And like, this is the part of pretty privilege that everybody wants to leave out. Like, once you're at a level of attractiveness, you don't even have to have a personality. You don't even have to say as much. You just have to sit there and look cute. Now, I don't know about you guys, but this naturally just started happening to me. Like, when I go into bad bitch mode, hair done, makeup done, everything done, I get into like bad bitch mode, and it's like I have a whole other personality. Like, I'm more poised. I don't talk as fast. My voice gets softer. Like, it just comes. So, moral of the story is, if you know you're that bitch, why do you need to talk so much?
But pretty privilege is so real. Chomi, have you ever seen pretty privilege play out right in front of your eyes? It's a Friday morning, and one of the pretty guys in the grade decides that, you know what, today's the day I'm gonna ask this pretty girl out. So basically, it's pretty to pretty. This guy writes a letter, please meet me after school. Tick yes or no. We're in grade 3, guys. So it's one of those times. And this girl receives this letter like in front of the whole class, you get me? So everybody is like, tick yes, tick yes, tick yes. The girl's smiling over the paper. What's she name? She ticks no. That pretty girl said no to that pretty boy. And you're out here wondering, Tabang Chomi, like, I'm here. Why can't you just say, can you meet me after school? And let me tell you, like, the pretty guys in primary, they had this thing where they really didn't mind being rejected. Oh no, it was just vibes. The pretty tabos and the tabangs and the shawns of the school didn't go for girls like us. Why? We're gonna give you the love that you needed at the time. Why? I was gonna meet you after school, boy. But no, instead you went for Mpili. Hey.
So pretty privilege has 3 tiers. There's entry level, 8 tier, and model status.
This video just made me realize that I have never once in my life experienced anything remotely close to those 3 levels of pretty privilege. I did not realize that girls were given things for free and doors opened and all kinds of stuff like that. Like, most people don't even make eye contact with me. Like, I can walk into a room and it's like you didn't even walk in. But I find the conversation interesting because, I mean, I believe it. I definitely believe what this creator was saying in the 3, pillars or what did she call it? Stages? I don't know. But at the same time, I can't imagine that being a privilege to get so much attention all the time. Because for me, nobody ever bothers me. Nobody ever comes up to me to talk to me, to want to buy me a drink for free. I just feel like that probably has to be hard. Not saying that like, oh, woe is me, the pretty girl or the hot girl or the most beautiful girl who has it so hard. But I just think like when I go on a walk or I go and I'm out in public, I'm not constantly having to just feel the eyes and the staring and all of that. I mean, I'm bald and people still don't even know second looks. All I'm saying is that has to be a little exhausting, no? Can somebody speak on that? Like, is it exhausting to have to feel like they're constantly staring at you and people constantly only want you for your body or your, your looks? I can't even imagine that. I really can't even imagine that.
One thing that I've noticed is that if you consider yourself attractive or like you are attractive, you will not get hit on. You do not get approached that often ever. Honestly, sometimes people will look at you weird or ugly because you are the physical manifestation of what they may be insecure about. And so there's a lot of people that I've met that have been super good looking, super attractive, and they would be very alone because 99% of the time people do not want to approach them. They don't want to talk to them. They don't want to hit on them. They don't want to be their friends because they think that that person that's attractive is vain or whatever the fuck, when they really have no idea who you are in the first place. So growing up, if you were like considered attractive and you're a cute kid, adorable, and you were bullied a lot and you never understood why, it's probably because you were cute and you're attractive and you were probably a very confident child, even though people try to bring you down. So much of the time, if you look at a really attractive person, you think, oh, they're probably booed up. They probably have a boyfriend, they probably have this, that, the third. They probably do not at all. A lot of the times they're single and they can't even get a date or have a date because people either are too insecure to date them or they don't want to date them because they think that they're going to be judgmental or whatever the fuck, or picky, or who knows. So yeah, like if you've been single for a lot of your life and you are considered attractive and people have told you many times that you are attractive, but you never get hit on or approached, that's probably why. Because maybe you're too attractive, or maybe you're just attractive enough to where people just don't want to really associate with you.
If you're young and you're pretty, you do not want to make this mistake at work.
So I think the whole pretty privilege in the workplace discussion is a little bit different when it comes to Black women. This creator makes some really interesting points about how you should dress and present yourself in the workplace as a woman, especially if you're in a male-dominated field. I've taken a much different approach than she suggests, and I think it's part of the reason why I've been promoted earlier than everyone I've started with, regardless of race. She basically says not to put too much effort into your appearance, don't think too much about your clothing, don't wear too much makeup, etc. I just don't think that's a luxury provided to Black women when you think about it from the gaze of another race. Like when you think about the white girl messy bun, there really is no Black equivalent to it. So really early in my career, even though I work in tech where there's no defined dress code, I always made sure to come to the office put together and elevated.
The goal of this really was just to look much older than I am. But what I think it's led to is this appearance of competence that complements my intellect, not overpowers it, because we don't start from the same like starting point of perceived beauty from non-Black people that non-Black women do. I want to be very clear. I am not saying that Black women are not as beautiful as other races of women. I'm talking about societal beauty standards. So in this creator that I'm stitching's video, she basically says that if you do too much at work, you wear too much makeup, your clothes are too nice, people are going to focus on that beauty instead of your intellect. But what I think that additional elevation does for Black women is actually bring us to the same level of perceived attractiveness as women of other races. So we're moving from being either invisible or looked down upon to being equal as a woman of another race who has not done too much. And then from a senior leader perspective, what I think this creates the appearance of is like, okay, this girl's really gotten with the program. I can really pour into her and invest in her as a leader and mentor. I'm going to feel better about myself because I'm mentoring a young Black woman, and she is going to do better and contribute to the company because I've seen by her appearance that she's not going to be out here looking like other Black women do. So I definitely don't think you should do anything to stand out from like a fashion or beauty perspective. Like don't wear a bunch of multicolored makeup or don't wear clothes that are really loud. But I do think that elevating yourself one level up from what other people wear will always help you, especially if you're a Black woman. So things like, yes, wearing makeup and maybe even a lot of makeup, but not loud makeup, makeup that enhances your features, wearing jewelry that is elevated, wearing nice, simple dresses, even if everyone else is wearing jeans. Just before I end this video, I want to let you know that this is completely a theory about how I think I'm perceived in the workplace. I have received some comments about my appearance in the workplace, almost always positive, but no like senior person has told me that they're pouring into me because I fit in. This is just what I think about my appearance and how it's positively affected me in the workplace.
You're so lucky, like you get all the boys, like all the boys like you. And I'm like, where are
I say this so often, but I think it's pretty rare for pretty girls to be approached in public. And personally, I think it's because there's an overall full package that comes with being a pretty girl. And a lot of guys that aren't really up at that level don't really know how to handle that. But the best thing about this is the right guy will approach you, and it'll usually be a guy that meets your standards and is up at your level in terms of success, ambition, character, goals, all of that, and will overall be a better match for you than the dusties that are walking around.
When you're not TikTok pretty, and y'all know exactly the type of pretty that I'm talking about, you will deal with the kind of stuff that I be dealing with.
Now, let's not act like we don't know what type of woman she is referring to. One of the first things I realized about this little app is the type of creators that it favors and pushes out on the For You feed. If you fall under the umbrella of being TikTok pretty, your chances of going viral are a lot higher. And before y'all even get it twisted, this is not brown skin, dark skin, whatever you want to classify me as, woman, you know, feeling like she's not beautiful, feeling like she's not as pretty as the other girls. No, baby. Do you see this? Speaking on something that affects a community that I am a part of is not something that I, as a Black woman or a brown, dark-skinned woman, needs anyone to pity. There are so many creative Black women, dark-skinned Black women on this app really doing their thing, really creating actual content versus just hopping in front of the camera, doing this. They check all the boxes. Good quality content, high quality content, valuable content, using the proper hashtags, SEO in the caption, the type of content you look at and you're like, this girl gonna blow up. Like, I don't see how she hasn't made it yet. How does she not have thousands of followers already? Like, this girl's content is so good. Imagine working so hard on your content and checking all the boxes, but because you're not a conventional beauty, you don't check all the boxes on paper. TikTok says you're not going viral. You're not digestible. You don't make the cut. It's a damn shame when someone who's mediocre, might I add, jump in front of the camera like this. Viral. Thousands of followers. It's a damn shame.
I hate the fact that people have to feel like they're beneath other people based on, I didn't do shit for this face. And that's something I explain to my kids regularly. When people tell my daughter that she's beautiful, I correct them. Yes, take that compliment. She'll say, That's God's compliment. That's not my compliment, but thank you. Because she didn't do shit for that.
Wow.
The first thing
Can we
that
write
happens,
that down?
the first thing that happens is when you find yourself in a messed up situation as a grown-up, you're like, damn, what can I do? What can I do? I'm pretty. So now you about to trick with, now you about to hit the stage. Now you about to use your face because you know how to use your face to get what you want because he's been telling you pretty all your life. I hate that shit.
Wow, so
I
now,
hate that shit.
now
So
we need
be
a press
clear.
conference.
The reason why I have such feelings about this conversation is because this is something I am very intentional about.
Yes.
My daughter is light-skinned, hair look like mine, green eyes. I tell her regularly, you better be smart because that face ain't gonna do to get you laid on your motherfucking back.
Now, I like that some of those who have pretty privilege have acknowledged that having pretty privilege can give them the audacity to take bold steps and go to places where they know that normally people might get rejected, but because they have pretty privilege, they know that they might get in, they might achieve what they want to achieve. Like the girl that said she was not going to pay $80 for the ticket, that if her face card cannot get her in, that she's not going to bother, and she eventually got someone to pay and do everything for her and her sister. Like I said, the drinks, the bars, not my vibe, not my thing. But getting brand deals, getting brand trips and collaborations, and also being invited to events, and that I'm jealous of. Now, the lady that used the pretty privilege, kind of, because she says she dresses up and tries to make herself look more presentable than the rest of her colleague, and it has helped her in advancing in her career. I think that she might have put black women onto some things. Like, even if you're in a place where everybody's wearing jeans, you might just like dress up a bit so that you stand out, and maybe that will get people to notice you in the corporate world. I don't know, I've not worked in the corporate world, but that might be something, using pretty privilege. Even if you're not conventionally pretty, if you dress up, smell nice, and try to look put together, it might help you get noticed and help people see what you are doing in your workplace, which will help you get promoted. I think that's a good idea if you can do it, but I don't know. Like I said, I'm not in the corporate world, but she just said what she has done and what is happening to her. She doesn't know if that is exactly what is making her to progress in her career, but that's what she did. And I think if you are in the corporate world and you're seeing that you're lacking behind, you can try that to get noticed, apart from you putting in the effort in your work. Like I said, I'm not a club person, I'm not a bar person, I don't drink and the rest. But getting brand deals, getting collaboration, going on trips, even though I might need to get a visa because I have a weak passport, is something that I would love, and it's something that I'm jealous that those that have pretty privilege can easily access. But it is what it is. I will just continue to work on myself and do things and not really seek validation from anybody, because I might not be conventionally pretty, but I am going to continue to grind, hustle, and one day maybe those brand trips, collaborations, sponsored posts, sponsored videos might happen. But until then, I'm going to continue being myself and trying to elevate myself in everything that I do. Anyway, that is my thoughts about the whole topic. What do you think about this whole pretty privilege topic? Do you think it's something real? Do you think it's just made up? Do you think that some people get away with things just because they are pretty? And have you had any experience with pretty privilege? Either seeing somebody achieve something while you got rejected for that same thing. I would love to hear your thoughts. I would love to hear your comments. So please leave your comments in the comment section so that we can get this discussion popping. Now, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are not yet subscribed and you like videos such as this, please consider subscribing by clicking on the red button that says subscribe. And don't forget to click on the bell notification icon by the side so that you're notified anytime I upload videos. Now, with all that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.